Hi, it's Mike Strong, M&L Motors, automotive lock and key services in West Sussex. Just want to show you a quick video this afternoon. Some more components that have been sent in to us. This particular offending item today is an ignition lock assembly from a Ford Ranger, 2010 Ford Ranger. It's exactly the same ignition as a Mazda. It's practically the same vehicle, just with a Ford badge on it. So what's happened is the customer has lost the keys for the vehicle. So he sent us this ignition in. The vehicle's not locked, so he's able to access it. He's quite far away from us, but these Ford keys, this Ford system, it uses it looks exactly the same as a Mazda key, but you can see this is a genuine Ford key, and it's got the Ford logo on it. It's a bit hard to see in the packaging, but this is a genuine Ford key for this vehicle, and it has an 8C transponder inside it. Now these keys can be programmed with a manual procedure. So what we've decided to do is we're going to make the key for the vehicle. We're going to cut the key to this lock by decoding it. We've also provided the customer with the security login code for his immobiliser, and what we'll do is we'll provide the customer with a full set of instructions on how to manually program this key to this vehicle, because he hasn't sent us the immobiliser. So all we're going to do is we're going to cut the key, send it back to him with the immobiliser login code, and it is just simply a case of you just insert the key into the ignition and remove it several times, and then you turn the ignition on to enter the PIN code. So the customer's quite confident he's able to do that. He's actually carried out this procedure before on another vehicle, so he's quite confident. So all we're going to do is we're just going to decode this lock, cut a key for it, and then we'll send it back to him. So with this ignition here, although the key is actually a 10 cut key, inside the ignition lock there's only 8 wafers that we need to worry about. In the ignition there's wafers in chambers 1 to 8, so 9 and 10 are empty, but the problem is in the door handle. Chambers 1 and 2 are empty, and chambers 3 to 10 are populated. So when we decode this ignition, we will be missing the last 2 wafers. So in order to get the last 2 wafers, we're going to have to run it through Instacode, and hopefully it's just going to give us one single code. If it gives us 2 or 3 different combinations, it could be, what we may have to do is cut maybe 3 blades, send them back to the customer, get him to try the blades, and let us know which of the blades is the one that is correct, and then we can cut the key and send it out to him. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly pick this lock, and then we're going to read its code. So if we just try and get you a good view here, what we're going to do is we're just going to use a specialist automotive pick and decoder, and this will allow us to quickly pick the lock, and then once the lock's picked, we can read the code on the grid here, and you'll see once the lock is picked, because obviously the lock will turn. And there we go, that's the lock now picked open. As you can see, the we don't want to turn it all the way back to lock, but as you can see, the locking bar is retracted into the ignition. So what we need to do now is we just need to decode the lock. Unfortunately, this is going to be upside down, but so we can see chamber 1 is a 1, 2 is a 2, 3 is a 4, 4 is a 4, 5 is a 4, 7 is a 2, and 8 well, I'm going to say that is a 4. So what we'll do is we'll just run that through Instacode, and we'll see what Instacode gives us with that code. So we'll just pause the video and we'll be right back with that. Okay, so we're back with this Mazda key. So what we've done now is we've just opened up our Instacode on the laptop. We've put in our cuts, and it's come out with this code here, 10791, and it's give us the last 2 missing cuts, which would be in the door handle. These 2 cuts here are not in the door handle, but 9 and 10 are, so they're important. We do need these to have a fully functional key. So if we go up to show cut key, that's what our key should look like. But this being a Mazda key, ignore this part on the end. That part on the end will just, that won't be there. But that's our key that we need to cut. So what we'll do is we'll go to our machine. We'll put this code in, this 10971, and we'll cut the key. So we're just at the machine now. This is our code that we put in. It's exactly the same as what it was on the laptop. We've just actually cut the blade, so you can, that's what the blade looks like. And if we take it out of the machine, and if we compare that against the key on the screen, you can see it is exactly the same. As I said to you, that bit on the very end, that's just a graphic from Instacode. That is not part of the key. So what we do, this is just a test blade that we've cut, because we don't want to cut that forward key without making sure that the key cuts are right, because those keys are very, very expensive to buy from even from our suppliers. Those genuine Ford 8C keys are very expensive keys to buy. So we'll just use this test blade, and we'll go and try that in the ignition, see if it turns. If it does, then that's great. What we'll do is we'll get the key cut. We know the full 10 cuts. We'll get the key cut, and then we'll get it shipped back to the owner. So we're just back with this ignition lock. This is our blade that we just cut, and if we insert that in, let's just get a pair of pliers. Oh, look at that. No problems with that at all. If we just flip it over. Absolutely spot on. So what we'll do is we'll take our new Ford key. We'll take that out to the machine and we'll get that cut to the same number, that 10791. That will operate this lock flawlessly, and same with the door handle. And then once we ship this back to the owner, he can put that back in the car, use the pin code and the programming procedure that we supply him to manually code this key into the vehicle, and he should be good to go. So if you've got problems with your automotive lock and keys, you can get hold of us at M&L Motors Automotive Lock and Key Services in West Sussex. That's our telephone number, 01903 718 241. Or you can get me, Mike Strong, on the mobile, 07771 851 859. You can either call me, send me a text message, or the best way to get hold of me is on WhatsApp. If you do call, I don't always answer the phone, very busy. Either leave a voicemail, or like I say, the best way to get hold of me is via WhatsApp. Okay, thanks for watching.